Alright, I'm in Alabama. I don't know why it was so important to me to actually be in Alabama and start from the very beginning, because the smarter move would have been this morning to go to Dalton, Georgia and pick up the trail there. But that's not what I did, because I had to cross that line. And there's the start of the Georgia Traverse right there. There's the state line. And we have officially started the Georgia Traverse, and we're back in Georgia. How does Georgia on My Mind go? Why have I forgotten that song? Keep Georgia on my mind. I remember country roads for West Virginia. Georgia, Georgia. So I got up at 7. First of all, yesterday I only made it to LJ. And so I thought about just going up to Dalton and picking it up there, which would have been the smart move. But then I entered in the GPS the end of the beginning of the route, and it said I'd be there by 8:30, and it was like, I left at, I don't know, 7:30. I'm like, all right, I'll do that. But then it's now 10 o'clock because my GPS played a joke on me. Stupid GPS. So I don't know. I meant to start. Let me start this. Track recorder, start. Good to go. So anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in 2 days. I just don't know. But I'm going to try. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that was a nice visit to Alabama. Haven't been there in a while. It took forever yesterday. I don't know what I expected, but yeah. It took a while to get into Georgia, and it took a while to get across Georgia. So there you go. I'm on the route. And I like Georgia. I lived here when I was a kid, like 1st through 3rd grade. I lived in Roswell, Georgia. And my wife lived in Marietta when she was a kid. And we're pretty sure we crossed paths as children. The weather's looking good for the next 2 days, so I'm psyched about that. And I'm psyched to see what this route is. Now, the one thing about a Jeep route is that it could be a Jeep route, meaning, Jeeps and side-by-sides do special things to roads. Not always good. So there could be those big, tire-wide rut spots, and, they dig out these big puddles and stuff like that. I don't want to put the blame on Jeeps and side-by-sides, but side-by-sides especially can really trash a road, man. And I still don't, I think it's 400 miles. I'm not really sure. And I can do 200 miles a day, no problem, I think, depending on the roads. But then I got to get home too. 'Cause I think it ends in South Carolina. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to worry about it. And last night, I stayed at a motel in LJ and went to some sports bar that was within walking distance. Had a few beers, pretty pleasant. Talked to some people. Listened to a guy who had like a drum machine and a guitar play Creedence Clearwater. He was pretty good actually. He's a good guitar player. And this morning's ride was beautiful. Curvy roads, just really nice. So I'm psyched to see what kind of dirt it is when we get to the dirt. I'm trying to think of other state songs. John Denver wrote two, so he had Country Roads for West Virginia, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High for Colorado. What else is there? Mississippi Queen for Mississippi, I guess. Kansas had a band named after him. Does that count? Sweet Home Alabama, where they mentioned Neil Young, who wrote Ohio, although Ohio isn't really the greatest song for Ohio, but I mean, it's a great song, but it's kind of a sad subject. What else? California Girls. I know there's a ton more. You know what state doesn't have a song? Connecticut. If anyone can mention a song in the comments that has anything to do with Connecticut, I'd like to see that. Also, I'm guessing, well, I was going to say like Delaware, but maybe they have a song. Rhode Island. Maryland. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the West is going to win on this situation. House in New Orleans. Does that count for Louisiana? I don't think there's a song for Florida. I don't know if Florida deserves a song. I don't know why I was just mean to Florida. I don't know why. Carolina on my mind. Does that count for both Carolinas or just one? I'm confused here already. I think I already screwed up. Okay, so I hate to admit this, but the Himalayan is running pretty well. The idle seems high to me, but I think that's where it's supposed to be. So it's starting right up, and if I let it warm up for a couple minutes, it doesn't have the normal stalls like before. First of all, it was a pain to start up. Just didn't want to do it, and then every time, like the first stop sign, it would stall. Second stop sign, it would stall until it fully warmed up. And none of that's happening anymore. So that makes me happy. But I'm still dreaming about that molto guzzi. Alright, the sign at the start of this road said dead end. So we'll see what that means. Thank you. Nope, you're good. Now I'm bad. I really didn't want to get down in this, but here we are. Okay. Well, this is pretty interesting already. Am I right? Oh. Wow, this is a ruddy disaster. Wow, that was a strong start. Georgia Traverse. Strong start. And man, I am sorry, little ugly. This is all just easier than it would be on that bike. I mean, I guess that's obvious, right? Yes, she's easier to maneuver and like whip around, but it's just those little freaking wheels. Here's a question for you. A Moto Guzzi V85. I think they're like 13 grand new, plus all the stuff, say 14 grand. Man, that's expensive. Now, I would not get a new one, I don't think. If I can find an old one, I would much rather do that. I actually saw one in the paper. In the paper? What year is this? I saw one online. Why did I say in the paper? For 10 grand in Kentucky. Kind of the one I want. Sorta. So, anyway, the question for you is, would you take a $10,000 to $14,000 motorcycle on roads like this? A Himalayan is what, 5 grand, something like that? And I mean, that's a lot of money too. But I don't know. I don't feel like I have to be precious with this bike. You know? I mean, I'm not gonna get mad if it gets a couple scratches or whatever. But that's something to think about. Would I just be freaked out the whole time riding that thing? Because I wouldn't want to mess it up. I know, I'm still thinking about Ride Right, don't worry. But these are special circumstances. That first piece of dirt was really, really nice. I'm pretty sure that was the Oconee National Forest. Really pleasant. Lafayette. I still can't remember how to pronounce it. But that's 20 miles away. That was the second night of the TAT. establishing is going to be tricky. It's a big jumble of squiggly lines on the GPS. See what I mean? Can you see that? It's looking pretty nuts. Wish I had seen that. Oh my god. Shit. Oh. Lordy. Stop looking at the view, dude. Well, just left Oconee National Forest again. Nice long stretch of dirt. Some challenging stuff, sorta, I guess, a little bit. Pretty fun. Man, I could do without these huge washouts. And but I think I'm about to hit pavement again. That was really nice. And it's starting to get hot. I gotta take off a layer. Which reminds me, the two things I forgot are my buff, which is a key piece of gear. I'm bummed. And my puffy, which I won't need, but still should always have it. And you know, I have a full-on spreadsheet checklist of things that go with me. The problem is I've never looked at it after I made it. I really need to take the 3 minutes to do that. Through Dalton about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago or something, and I'm glad I didn't go straight there this morning. It was worth going to the border, and hopefully this gas station, yes, this is the last gas near the route for what looks like a pretty long time. Heading into some forests, and it's like a pretty massive swath. Why? So hopefully this will get me across it. Right, Mack truck. All that kudzu from earlier made me start thinking about REM for some reason. Probably because of one of their album covers. And I've been singing that song. I don't remember which album it is. Murmur, maybe? Life Search Pageant is by far my favorite REM record, but it's that song, Miles Standish, Proud, is one of the lyrics.
Miles Standish, Proud.
And I'm trying to remember who Miles Standish is. Did I ever know? Did I ever know who Miles Standish was? I did. Why don't I now? I'll tell you why. Early onset Alzheimer's disease. To all you young people out there, everything you've heard is true. You better live it up. I'm telling you the truth. Live it up. Bastards with all your brain cells and health and muscles. Live it up. Because soon you won't know who the hell Miles Standish is. One thing I'll tell you, if Miles Standish, when I look it up, when Future Ange looks it up, if Miles Standish does not have a mustache, I will be extremely disappointed. I mean, with a name like Miles Standish, is Miles Standish even a person in history? Yes, right? Yes. Miles Standish. who absolutely must have a mustache. If Miles Standish does not have a mustache, I want my money back. What's the evil guy's name who always used to tie that cartoon lady to the railroad tracks? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Meanwhile, a short distance away, Sindley Wiplash was up to his favorite pastime, tying women to railroad tracks.
Penelope something? Is that Miles Standish? If it's not, that's what Miles Standish needs to look like. What cartoon was that? I feel like it was part of maybe part of the Bullwinkle thing. Or wait, wasn't there a Mountie? Was there a Mountie in that? I think there was a Mountie.
Into the northern region of Canada at the close of the 19th century rode Dudley Do Right of the Mounties.
Like a very dorky white Mountie guy with an enormous chin. Am I making all this up? It's an adventure ride till you see a tiny compact car. Was it Penelope or Calamity Jane? No, Calamity Jane's a real person in history, right? Did Calamity Jane ever sleep with Miles Standish? That's something I'll need to get to the bottom of. All of this was started by a little kudzu. Terrorist gravel. I've been hitting patches of it and don't really care. You know what I mean? I hit one pretty deep patch that I did care, but usually the Hemi just deals with it. It's pretty nice. See, that was pretty deep, that little tiny patch right there. No worries. It's an adventure ride until you see a Honda Civic. It's an adventure ride until you see a Honda Civic. I wonder if Big Boss would make an underarm deodorant called Honda Civic. He's up for it, pretty much anything, that guy. Hey, I know this place. This is Smoky Mountain 500 land. Mill Creek Overlook. I've flown the drone there. I'm not going to do it again. I am going to take a little break though. Oh, I can't believe I'm already back in Smoky Mountain 500 land. It's kind of a bummer. Very pretty. So I've done this road 3 times now, if not more. Smoky Mountain 500 on the Honda, on the Tat on the Honda, and now this today. That Tat Steve camped right on that little deck there, and he was doing the Tat. He's got the thing where he can camp anywhere. I need to go on a long trip with him and learn that skill. I will learn that skill. What would have that been? Day 1 of the Tat? Or day 2? Must have been day 2, right? Not sure. This one, maybe we're off the Smoky Mountain 500 now. I'm not sure. Or something up there. like this video if you liked this video, and if you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button and the alert bell. Also, if you're interested, there are links to gear lists and goofy t-shirts in the description. Thanks a ton for watching.